do a little book haul. Good morning! I was thinking to do a little book haul. Maybe not too little. Grab my coffee and oh my god, this whole thing looks so serious. Actually, let's set the mood. Put a little candle on. Okay. Obviously, I put the books this way so you cannot sneak into it yet. It's a good mixture out of rom-com, self-help, and just in general fiction. Okay, let's start with like general fiction, I would say. Alright, first we have All Fours by Miranda Julie. You might have heard about it. I've actually found this book in an outlet mall. There was like an outlet bookstore in there. I haven't read this one yet, but I heard good stuff about it. Some people love it, some people hate it, that's what I heard. It is very artsy. Basically, it's about this woman. She's leaving her husband and her kid behind at home, and then she drives from New York to LA. Oh, from LA to New York. So she's crossing country, kind of like finding herself again. Yeah, I feel like this is a book I do want to read in the US. So I might actually leave this here. But I'm kind of sad I didn't pick it up yet. Then we have, oh my god, I was so happy when I found this book in Half Price Books. Blue Sisters. I wanted to read this for so long. And I was always thinking this is a book I would actually put in my bookshelf because I love this cover so much, and then I saw it there for $8.99 instead of $18. So I was like, yeah, let's go. I think it's basically about these four sisters, and one of them died, and then it's about like the sisterhood of both of the three of them. I am really excited about this book. I mean, I have two older sisters, so I can probably highly relate to sisterhood. It might be actually one of my next reads because I waited for this book so long. I think it's on my reading list for like 3 years already. Very excited. Okay, next one is a little bit bigger, and I did want to read it already in the US and I couldn't make it. So I guess I have to bring it somehow. A Little Life, just the cover itself, it's just like wow. I actually haven't heard a lot about it yet, but I just saw it at Barnes and I was like, this is something I want to put in my bookshelf. And I was just reading the backside. I didn't look at Goodreads yet, what other people think about it, because I somehow want to go into it a little bit blindfolded. So I cannot tell you too much about it. But I mean, it has a National Book Award finalist sticker, so it must be really good. So I think it's basically about this college classmates that go to New York and try to build a life. It's about the families we are born into and those that we make for ourselves. Yeah. You know, for me, it's always like I need like rom-com, then I need something deeper again. So this is gonna be for the time and I have not a lot in my head and I can kind of like read something like this. Alright, the next book I'm actually reading right now and I do want to finish it before we go back next week. And it is part of a trilogy. I read the first part exactly 1 year ago and it has a lot of characters. They do switch within the chapter itself. And you kind of have to remember all this person. So I was like, okay, I have to pick it up now. Otherwise, it's probably even too late. You might know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Frederick Backman. This is the second part of the Beartown trilogy. And you might hate me for saying that. I'm like halfway. And I'm not really enjoying it. I said what I said. I don't know what it is. My best friend would probably kill me right now for saying this. Because it's like her favorite, but I don't know why. I think for me it's very long, and I do enjoy this different approach of having so many different people and different perspectives within one chapter. It's not something you read to drift off and fall asleep. Like, my brain really needs to work when I read this, and it's highly political, so maybe my brain just doesn't want to read this right now, if I'm honest. But I am halfway, so I'm not gonna DNF it. I'm still waiting for the plot twist, if I'm honest. The third book has like 900 plus pages, so I don't know if this is gonna happen, since I'm already having a hard time with this one. I do want to finish it before we leave. And it's also the perfect time, because it's still a little bit cold and snowy outside. Hopefully it's getting a little bit better, because I did enjoy the first part. I remember that, otherwise I wouldn't have bought the second part, right? And I do like the cover of it, very cute. Okay, this was more the fiction one. Now we're gonna go into self-help. I do enjoy self-help books a lot. especially when I read them in the morning with my coffee. It feels like a really good motivational start. Like, I just read a few pages and everything I learn I try to approach within the day. You should try it out. I really love self-help books in the morning and then fictional ones in the evening to kind of like rest. The first one, I didn't look into it yet, unfortunately. I should have. I mean, there is the bookmark in there, it doesn't mean anything. The Relaxed Woman. I've seen that in Barnes & Noble in Colorado, and it was $35 or $32, something like that. And I was like, okay, as much as this book speaks to me, like, I saw the title and I was like, I feel like I need to read this book. And also, I don't know, the colors on it, like, oh my god, I don't know. This is something I don't want to have on my Kindle, but it was $35. So I was like, no. So, and I couldn't find it in half price books or anywhere, so I did buy it on Amazon, but it was on sale on Amazon. It was only like $17 on Amazon, so I was like, let's go. I'm really trying hard to like give myself permission to like slow down and read in the evening or also during the day, like take a break, you know. I feel like especially in our society right now, the hustling culture, it is so hard to claim your rest and be okay with it without feeling guilty. So I think this book can help a lot. I did read a few comments before I bought it because I don't know anybody who ever read this book. And they were really good. Like, they were telling about their stories and I was like, I can highly relate. And the book helped them a lot. So I'm definitely bringing this to Germany. I think this is something you would reread a lot also. Like, when you feel stressed and you feel like guilty when you rest, I think I would pick this up to remember myself, you know what, you're allowed to rest. Next book, Everything I Know About Love. I feel like every girl has read this book. I haven't read it yet. I did put it on my list a few years ago. I wasn't even in a relationship back then, but I think you should still read it if you're in a relationship or not. It's a memoir, actually, from Dolly Alderton. I feel like I'm saying all these names wrong. The next one, also self-help, I've got in Barnes, is Unwinding Anxiety. I think everybody has their own struggles, and I think once you understand why you have the struggles, like you really dip deep inside of it, and you have, and like for example for me, I feel anxiety, but I know where it's coming from. I think I can handle it so much better than just having like an anxiety attack and I know where it's coming from. I think this is not like you read it in one go. You just read a few pages when you feel like it and then you take some approaches from it. And then the last one, I wouldn't say it's really a self-help. It's more like my spiritual self. I'm really high in spirituality at the moment and I bought a little book of manifestations. This is perfect because it's so small and light. I mean, you can just put this in your purse if you want. I actually only read a few pages so far, but I do want to get not better. I want to integrate more manifestation in my life again because I used to and I really worked and somehow I stopped doing it. So I think this book can definitely help. Like, they have like vision boards in here and journaling, I think, and like in general, what is manifestation, history of manifestation. So it's like the basics, and I think this is a good way to start because I'm like right in the beginning of my spiritual journey. All right, next is all rom-com. It's the cheesy stuff, but I do need that sometimes. Like, if you had a long day and you just want to rest and it's like trash TV. Sometimes you just need some trash TV at night if you had a long day, okay? Why do I even over-explain myself? Okay, first, I've got the sweet spot for $4. And, okay, I didn't look it up, but I think it is new. Because when I've been to Barnes a few days before, there was like a whole table with this book, and it was like Barnes Pig or something like that saying, like, highly recommending this. It's like a book of a month or something they said, I think. And then I found it in the clearance section in half-price books last week, and I was like, coming with me. I guess it's a really good book. I actually picked it up without reading the back of it because I'm just trusting the Barnes & Noble employees that this is a really good book. This was actually crazy because I found this book on Goodreads like 2 days before, and I was like, oh, this is a really cool cover. Like, this is something I would actually put in my bookshelf. 2 days later, I walk into Goodwill, and the first book I'm seeing is this one. Like, talking about manifestation, you know? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding, actually. I did manifest this, okay? But actually, afterwards, after I bought it, I checked Goodreads. And the ratings were not the best. I feel like this is also more summer book. Where is this even playing? It looks like Italy. Doesn't say. I got Love and Gelato. And I do want to read this in Italy. I don't know when I will be in Italy. Like, we didn't plan any Italy trip. But I do know that I will be there at some point because I used to live there. I love Italy. I always want to go back there. So there will be a time when I will bring this book to Italy. So I'm definitely bringing this to Germany in hope that we will go to Italy. But yeah, it's really cute. I like it. The cover is like so, like, not shiny. I kind of like that. Did you know this book is 10 years old? Like, I thought it's new because it's such a hype at the moment. This is published in 2016. And it doesn't seem old, but 2016 is 10 years ago, which is still crazy to me. I actually wonder how I can talk to you so much right now. I'm still so tired. I literally just woke up, made myself a coffee, and sat down here. If you watched until here, comment the book emoji. I highly appreciate it if you listen to my only caffeinated Sunday morning self. Please let me know. Actually, now the book staple is that low that you can actually tell the next book already. And oh my god, I got so excited when I found this one in Half Price Books. I literally walked into this bookstore, and this was the first book last week I saw, and I was like, you coming home with me? I was waiting for this moment. I didn't read this on Kindle so far, even though the storyline is super interesting to me, but I haven't read it so far because I was like, this is a book I do want to have on my bookshelf. Like, I love this cover so much. It looks like an autumn book, but honestly, I feel like I'm gonna pick this up very soon. You Again by Kate Goldberg. I do love her writing style a lot. Yesterday, when I went to Half Price Books, I told myself I'm only browsing, and if I find something, only one book max. Like, I'm not gonna buy too much because I spent money last week. Plus, how do I even bring all these books, you know? But then I found these two really new books. Like, they just published and I found them half price. So I was like, yeah, I kind of broke my promise to myself. So one of them is People Watching by Hannah, oh my god, maybe I'm wrong, Bonam Young. Sorry if I pronounced that completely wrong, but it's the same author from Out on a Limb, and this is one of my favorite rom-com books. I think I'm actually gonna reread this book because everything of it was perfect. I love the storyline so much. I love the characters. I was like so deep into the story. So yeah, this one, I actually have no clue what it's about, but I had to pick it up because the cover is cute. It's by my favorite author, and it is only $9.49 instead of $19. She also wrote Out of the Woods, something like that. I don't really like the cover of that one, but I do want to read it. So another book by her that is on my list. And then I got Daddy Issues. But that sounded completely wrong. I don't have Daddy Issues. I bought Daddy Issues yesterday. Also one of the books I bought yesterday. And it's the same author as this one. So I have both of her books now, which is kind of cool. And I did like the cover a lot. It has like this comic kind of sense. Like, it's very different to the books I usually buy. I've heard good things about it. And I did read actually 50 pages yesterday already. Because I kind of had to take a break from Beartown. That's what I'm saying. Like, if I read this political, fictional, or like self-help, like everything that's more like getting deeper, or you have to think about it more deep, I do need some rom-com in between or afterwards. You know what I mean? So I think these kind of books are perfect for it. So yeah, got this too. Next, I've got Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. I did read It Starts With Us and It Ends With Us, and I watched the movie. And I enjoyed it a lot. I do like his writing style. So I was like, why not having another book by her? I've got Magnolia Parks. Yeah, the cover, not my favorite, but I've heard a lot of good things about Magnolia Parks. I think there's 6 books so far. This one is the first one. I don't know anybody who doesn't like this book, so I was like, okay, I do have to read it. Like, I do want to know about the hype. Like, I do want to be one of the persons who read it. So I bought this books at Barnes when there was like the 40% off sale. I don't know if I will regret it. I won't bring it to Germany. Like, I feel like this is not a book that's worth the kilograms. I will read it next year. Why not? Be one of the girls who read Magnolia Parks. Alright, 2 left. And these 2 I've actually read so far. One is a banger, one was bad. We're gonna start with the banger. Malibu Rising was a 5-star book for me. I mean, honestly, anything written by Taylor Jenkins Reid, sign me up. I think every single book I've read so far by her, I gave 5 stars. And this one was one I wanted to pick up for a long time, but also one that I wanted to have as a hard copy, because just look at the cover with the 4 surface. So cute. And obviously, I might be a little bit biased because it's also about surfing and the 4 siblings. And I don't know, it really reminded me of going in the water with my sister and my dad, and that was really cute. So it's about siblings, like the dynamic between siblings and how they work together in family problems, because the mom and the dad, they do have their own problems, and how they like stuck together to get through it. And then also the dynamics, if you're like the oldest or the youngest or in between, like, it is so well written. And also coming from a poor family and getting money all of a sudden, like how this changes. Like, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I can highly recommend this book. And what I love about her books, they always have like a flashback to the 1780s. And she's writing it so well. I feel like I'm like back in the 70s, 80s. I mean, I didn't live back then, but she's writing it so vivid that I can really see myself in that scene. And I'm always feeling so connected to the characters. This woman has talent. If you haven't read a book by her, just pick one up. All of them are good. So yeah, definitely recommend, especially this one, Malibu Rising and Evelyn Hugo. I think these are my 2 favorite books. I love this book, and I was really sad when I finished it. And then last one is actually not good to finish with a bad one. I gave Emily Henry so many chances already, and I'm always disappointed. I've read Funny Story and Happy Place, and this is the 3rd one I've read. And it started strong. I was like, okay, this could be actually something. But somehow in the chapter itself, she's always jumping around and it's like kind of losing it. Like, I'm sometimes forgetting the storyline because, oh, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then we go back. And I'm like, why did we need this information? Like, sometimes I'm so confused. Sorry. Like, I don't want to talk bad about it or anything. I'm just sometimes very confused. I mean, I do understand why people probably like it. It's just not for me, if I'm honest. It's just way too long sometimes, like too many details, and then the plot didn't do anything to me, if I'm honest. I'm almost DNF'd it, but I did want to read it because I wanted to watch the movie afterwards. So I read it, and the next day already I was watching the movie. Also didn't do anything to me. To mix neither, you fall asleep within 5 minutes. Also not a good sign. And also the movie is completely different. Like, this place in California, the movie plays in Italy. Like, this is already how it starts, where I'm so confused. And I have to stop. I'm only saying bad things. I'm so sorry, but this was not for me. Alright. Oh my god. That was it. That was a lot. If you watched all of that, wow. You are a reader. I enjoy anything with books on YouTube. Like, I love booktubers, and to get some inspiration or see like what they think about a book that I've already read. So yeah, this is very inspirational to me. And also motivational, because believe it or not, sometimes I'm also in a reading slump. At the moment, I think I've never been so motivated to read. Like, at the moment, I don't want to do anything else. Maybe it's also a little bit of procrastination, obviously. But I think there's something so cozy about reading, and especially if you're someone who's like scrolling a lot or at night is like watching TV and all this stuff. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but I think picking up a book is like, first of all, makes you feel so much better afterwards, and second of all, it will really spark your creativity as well, because you kind of imagine the storyline in your head, right? So instead of like scrolling, like passive scrolling, passive TV watching TV, passive watching TV, you know what I'm saying. So I'm really glad that I picked up reading again. I hope I inspired you a little bit to also start reading, or if you are a reader, maybe you got some inspiration. If you read one of these books, please don't spoil me, but you can let me know in the comments what you think about that book, how you found it.